Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed. In this video, we are starting our hard level question solving. Now, let's begin with the first problem. Okay, for this question, it says Power Ranger. Create a function that takes an n, a, b, and returns the number of positive values raised to the nth power that lie in the range a and b inclusive. Okay, let me just copy one of these examples. And okay, a is smaller than b will always be true. Okay, let's start then. For this question, what are we going to do, guys? We are going to first create three integers, right? For n, for a, and for b. So let me just create those. For n, let's just say, what was our example? Okay, for n it's 3, int a, for a it's 1, I guess, and for b it's the 27. Then what I need to do, first I need to create a method, right? Let me just create one, public static int, let's just say sum, and I'm gonna send three arguments to this sum method, right? They are n, a, and b. So let me just write those down. N int a and int b. And now I can call my this sum method from my main method here. I'm just gonna call that inside of my console write line, of course. I'm just gonna write sum n, a, and b. Then I'm just gonna end it with the console read line. Now we are done with our main part, guys. So let's continue writing our formulas. What are we going to do? First, I need to do what? I need to create an counter for counting that value. So I'm just gonna write one int counter 0. Then what I need to do? First, I need to create an for loop, right? Or basically any other loop. I need to create a for loop, and I need to check for the nth power of numbers, right? And what will be those numbers? Those numbers need to be bigger than, let me just say, bigger than a. Basically, my the power of nth is going to be bigger than a, and it's going to be smaller than b, right? Or basically, they're going to bigger and equal than and smaller and equal than b. Okay, this will be our argument. So basically, I'm just going to write if basically for int a equals 1. Why? Because I'm going to multiply them by I, so I can start with 0. I need to start with 1. So I'm just going to write I smaller than equal than b, because it needs to be the between in the range of my a and b, so it can't be bigger than b technically. And let's just say I plus plus. Then I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna write my if argument. How am I going to write? I'm just going to use matplotlib to figure out the numbers. So I'm just gonna write matplotlib. What is going to be my base? My base is going to be I, of course, and the n is my power. So basically, nth power of I here. And what's this going to be? It's going to be bigger than or equal than a. Then again, it needs to be what? This one needs to be smaller than equal than b. Okay, now if this argument is correct, so basically in my loop, if this argument is get executed, I need to do what? I need to increase my counter. Then I need to return that counter. Simple as that. Basically, we are done with our code right now. So let's check it out. And as you can see, we are getting the value of 3 here. And let's check it for another examples, like this one. Let me just copy and paste this. So I need to do what? I need to write 49 and 65, right? Let's check this out. It needs to be 2, and as you can see, our result is 2, guys. So let's move on to our next question. Now for this question, it says next prime, given an integer, create a function that returns the next prime. If the number is prime, return the number itself. Okay, easy enough. Let me just copy this example, delete all of these and delete these. Then I need to do what? Create an int num. Why is that? Because I need to assign my example there. Then I'm just gonna return that num, and I'm just gonna take that num from here. Then okay, we are done with main, and we are going to continue with our integer sum method. So again, I need to do what? First, I need to create an integer variable. Why is that? Because I need to look for prime numbers, right? So basically I need to do what? First, check my num, if it's a prime or not. Then I need to check what? Num plus 1, then num plus 3. So I need this plus education. So I'm gonna create an integer variable for that. So I'm just gonna write int add equals to 0 for now at least. Then I'm gonna create a loop for checking the prime number situation. So let's just say int I equals to 2. Why is that? Because the smallest prime number is 2. I start with 2. Then I'm gonna write this argument n plus a. Be careful if I write my num plus a only num plus. If I write only num, I'm gonna get what? I'm gonna get this 12 right there. So I can check any other numbers bigger than 12. But I need to check those. So I'm gonna write plus a here. Then I'm gonna increase my I, of course. Then in here I need to do what? I need to check for the prime numbers. And of course I forgot to write add. Okay. How am I going to check for prime numbers? I need to do what? I need to divide them by this I number. So if they can get divided by that I, they are not a prime number. If they can't get divided by all of these I number until these loop ends, they are the prime number that we are looking for, right? So let's just do that. Let's just write num plus add reminder by I equals to reminder by I equals to 0. Now, then I need to do what? I need to first change my a, or basically increase my add here, add plus plus. Then I need to do what? I need to reset my I value, right? So I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna assign it to 1, guys. Why 1 instead of 2? Because at the end of this, wait, this is missing. Okay, at the end of this, if this is going to loop again, and the end of the loop, we are incrementing our I value element. So if I brought 2 here at the beginning of our loop here, it's going to be the value of 3, not 2. I wanted this value to be 2 when we start our loop again. So I'm just going to assign it 1. Then if this loop breaks, I'm gonna get what? I'm gonna get my prime number, right? So I'm just gonna return my number. And I need to do what? I need to add my add variable here. Why is that? Because my prime number will be this one. Actually, let me just put parentheses also, because my prime number is this one. So let me just execute my command, and as you can see, we are getting the next prime number 13 here. Let's check it for another example. Let's do it for the 24. Oh, whoops. And as you can see, we are getting 29. Let's do it for the 11. We should be getting 11. And as you can see, we are getting the result of 11, guys. So let's move on to our next question. Now for this question, nth Fibonacci number. Create a function to return the nth number in the Fibonacci sequence as a string. Okay, this is easy. So we are basically returning a Fibonacci number. Okay, let me just copy one of these. Then come here and let's just say double num for now, because Fibonacci is a long string, so it needs to be the double one. Again, I need to write what? Double here, and of course double here. Or actually I need to write string here, right? We were returning as a string. So I need to do what? I need to basically create the Fibonacci number situation. So I have a formula for that. Basically, if I just come here and write double, or actually let me just delete all of this first, double Fibo 1, then double Fibo 2. Basically, I'm creating two double variables. One of them equals to 1, one of them equals to 0. Then I'm gonna create a loop, then get my Fibonacci number from that loop. How am I going to do that? I'm just going to write integer I equals to 1. Then I'm gonna write the next argument. It lasts until our num, then it gets increased by 1. Then I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna first add this Fibo 2 to my Fibo. Let's just write my Fibonacci series here. How is it continuous? It continues with 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 5, 8. It moves on like this, right? So basically, there is a 0 there also. So if it's get education, if it gets adds together, this 0 and 1, it gets 1. If this 1 and 1 gets add together, it's going to be 2. If this ones adds together, it's going to be 3, etc. So basically, we can say there's a 0 there also. So I'm gonna use those for that. Now I'm gonna do the exact thing that I just said. Just write Fibo 2. Then I need to do what? I need to update this number. Why is that? Because if this Fibo value, double value, is equals to 1, so basically this is at that position and this Fibo 2 is at that position. When I add this Fibo 2 to Fibo, this is going to be in the third position, or basically second position right now, because we are starting counting at 0th position. So this Fibo is there now, and this Fibo 2 needs to be there. So basically it needs to get the value of 1 now. So I'm just gonna update it. How am I going to update that number? If I just write Fibo minus Fibo 2, basically the previous value, it equals to the previous value. If I wrote that down and assign it by Fibo 2, basically Fibo 2 becomes the previous value of my Fibo here, and which is that exactly I want that to be happen. So I'm just gonna write Fibo minus Fibo 2. Then this is going to give me the previous position of my Fibo. This is the current position, and this is the previous position of my Fibo here. And now what am I going to do? I'm going to return this Fibo value here. And of course, what does it want? It wants us to return as its string. So I'm just going to write return Fibo to string. And we should be done. Let me just execute my command, and let's just say 10 first. As you can see, we are getting 55. Let me just write 40. And as you can see, we are getting our result right here. So now let's move on to our next question.